What is honey harvest for all the people at home?
Beekeepers, when they keep bees, they separate the queen and only let her in part of the hive. And what that does is it lets the bees store honey and brood and put, not harvest brood, but raise brood and, multiply their hive in a certain section of the hive. And then we keep the queen out of part of the hive so that honey is clean, doesn't have brood, doesn't have, the mess of childbirth in the honey. So it's clean for humans, doesn't have bee parts and bee goo in it. So harvesting honey is taking those frames that have been separated from the queen, and we cut off the caps, the wax caps that the bees put on there after the nectar becomes honey, and then spin the honey out of the cells. And then once it's spun, we filter it and bottle it. That's honey harvest.
There we go. And at Maggie's place, you invite people to be part of that whole process.
Right, because it's laborious for one person to do alone, and it's fascinating to learn. Everybody that's ever participated in Honey Harvest with me is so glad, because they learn so much about bees and how they do things and why they do things and why cells are built a certain way and how we take advantage of that to increase our yield. That's the word. Thank you.
There we go. See, I come in handy.
Yes, you do.
All right, well, let's go and start kind of sharing footage from the actual honey harvest that we did a couple months ago.
Yep. And if you turn it the other way, I've got the ear of the frame on the side with my hand. If you're right-handed, on the right. Yeah, I'm just trying to take off that very top cover of wax, that wax capping. Without digging in like I just did.
Just making sure, right?
Yep. It's not easy to do. You won't do as good a job as you want to do. You'll want to do a great job, and one of you might. You don't want to cut up all the wood.
I'm going to be honest. Even though I was on camera, I was hesitating to do it for that exact reason. That there was a bit of pressure of feeling like if I do it, I want to do it right. And it's kind of an instinct that I've been trying to fight against, which is just do it to just start to explore it, And the more I'm around Maggie's place and the urban farm, the more I'm realizing that there's something to be said about working with your hands, that it's a practice. It doesn't come naturally. You spend your whole life in the city eating box cereal and watching TV, you don't get that dexterity practice. And I was a bit intimidated at first, but I did eventually do it.
Good for you.
Just something I wanted to share.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting over worrying about, because nobody, when you learn something, nobody does it perfect the first time. I didn't do it perfect the 100th time. And so being willing to just jump in and make mistakes and learn from them is half the battle of life, I think.
I agree. I love that.
the wax that lands up in here, I let all the honey drip off of it, and then I melt the wax and paint it on frames. We were just talking about how the first step in extracting the honey from the frames is cutting off the caps that the bees put on it. So we do that, and we flip it, do the other side.
This might be a silly thing to get really quick.
And you're gonna do better if you do a zigzag kind of light saw motion. Yeah.
Nice, okay.
That's why I like him so much. I don't know.
That's why you like him? No, I'm just kidding.
And if you keep your knife flat, there you go.
See, I'm coming at it like I'm shaving myself.
Yep.
This part stuck out for me because when I did that first episode with you, you did such a good job guiding me through taking care of a plant. And this part, you're doing such a good job like guiding and teaching this portion. And I'm just curious what like that teaching aspect, what that kind of gives you.
Well, first of all, I love gaining knowledge. I teach myself. I mean, I've gone down so many rabbit holes and taught myself so many different things, beekeeping being one of them. And I love sharing that knowledge to spark interest in other people in especially like beekeeping, because the more people that know about bees and care about bees and are curious about bees, and we've got to save the bees. So in particular with beekeeping, I like sharing it for that reason. But even when I was an attorney, one of my favorite things to do is educate employees about what contracts mean, or what the EEO laws are, or whatever. When I can share knowledge that is relevant to someone else and they get excited about it, but I don't like teaching children. I like teaching adults. So, I just get a lot of pleasure out of sparking interest in other people.
Yeah. I also love like the aspect of just helping. I think since I am a self-taught filmmaker, that I had to learn so much stuff the hard way, that whenever I meet someone who's on their journey, I'm like, can you let me help you? Because I did it the wrong way for a long time, and I'm like, here's a technique that will speed up this process.
Right.
And yeah, it just comes naturally to me.
Right, and like telling him to flatten his knife just a little bit made the rest of cutting off those caps a lot easier, because if you've got your knife tilted, it just makes everything wonky. Mm-hmm. So once I got him to flatten his knife on the frame, it changed his whole. You'll see in just a second.
Yeah,
he does a really good job. There you go. You can just keep going. That slab will follow you.
Oh, they gave you the easy one?
It's beautiful.
Why do you give me
Yeah, I love it that's peeling off like that.
Mm-hmm.
Fritz!
Okay, who's next?
Okay. Doing it like a pro. Look at him go.
You're doing great.
Perfect. Yep.
There's a bee on it.
That's an impressive
You
view
probably
around
get in a
here.
level. You're probably.
They're obviously in potting soil, and not in the ground.
What is he talking about?
Peat moss.
Yeah. They need alkaline soils.
I have a,
They need acidic soil.
I have.
Confusing, but like also, but it's also maintenance. Like, you know, like you don't, like they can't just never have it taken out. Whereas
So this person's really struggling, but it's their first time.
Good job. Shame on you. Keep your knife.
Shame on you is obviously being
Okay,
facetious.
I think you
Yeah,
Yeah. We are anti-shame at Maggie's place.
for sure.
Let's get the. Yeah. I got this. Okay, boys and girls.
Class.
You guys even know that reference?
That was Gilda Radner.
Classic SNL.
Yep. So here I think we have the frames backwards. And so the honey isn't really spinning out because they're backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a shot later where it sticks to the side.
Yep.
really great smell. You're right. Looks like a perfume. It's sweet. This corner of Newbury.
Yeah, so see all the cells are empty now.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I had, maybe not. So we're flipping the frames over here because when you spin the honey out, it only spins out of the side that's towards the wall of the extractor. The side that's on the inside, the honey just gets packed into it more.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's so fun watching people learn together too. I think that that's like kind of what we've been talking about, which is come here, you can learn with other people. It doesn't have to be so formal, you know? It's not like sit down.
Yeah, like yesterday, somebody came over and we made butter because I needed to make butter, and so she was here, so we made butter together. And she never made butter. And she was surprised at how easy it was.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you can see the honey on the side.
Okay, you guys want to see what you've done so far?
So the honey that's coming out there has little pieces of wax in it, and so we have to filter it to filter out the wax because nobody wants to eat wax when they're putting honey on their biscuit.
Yeah. And the filter is being put through like a mesh net.
Yeah, so the circle around there is a metal ring that holds the mesh net down in the bucket.
Is that the same as a cheesecloth, or is that something different?
No, this is more like a fishnet. You could use cheesecloth. It would just be harder to clean. This is real easy to clean. Okay, so we can put these. We can put these. So what we're doing is putting the frames that have already been spun.
Dog protectors.
Yep. Into a box.
Turn it down.
Oh, it's cleanup time. So the frames that have been spun, we're putting them in the box to take them back to the hive so that the bees can clean them up. Now, that's the honey being strained through that filter that we talked about. There are a lot of bees in there because they just...
Like in larger operations, these would be like warmed or heated so that it would flow faster.
Just gonna mute it.
Thank you, because so the bees during harvest smell all that honey, and they come and they just get in there and don't leave, and it's really hard to keep them out. Now you can do that by doing all this inside and not have bees in your harvest, but that is really messy.
Yeah.
And if bees do happen, and there's some bees that were just in the extractor, saw one come out. It's hard to avoid killing bees during honey harvest. It really is. The good news is those are summer bees, and they're going to die in the next 2 weeks anyway.
That does soften the blow. Thank you for that. It's kind of mesmerizing, though, the way it just trickles down like that.
Yep.
Well, today was fun. I had a bunch of people I didn't know show up today, which was really special because this place is all about community, and so getting to meet new people and have new people come to Maggie's place is really special. Everybody got to participate in cutting off the caps off the comb, which is it's just always fun to have people learn about bees and what they do for us when they make honey and how they store it and how we extract it. So it's always special.
How do you think the newcomers did?
Oh, they did great. One especially, she was a natural. She got every slice was just like she'd done it a million times. So.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, we got it.
Yeah, Maggie's place now.
Okay. If we could both kind of share about kind of like how that's an example of what we're moving towards, this idea of exchanging knowledge and inviting people over, and
so Maggie's place is a place where people can come and learn and grow and eat and share with each other, share knowledge with each other. I share knowledge, I get knowledge. I learn something from people every day, and there's just lots of things to learn and grow and share about around here. And that's what we're all about.
Yeah, and I'm inviting people who are interested in one side, which is maybe extracting honey, but letting them know that there's like taking care of plants that you could also learn. There's food you could also learn. There's like
How to
social
make butter.
media, which I'm starting to invite people like, do you want to learn how to make social media, have access to equipment? Come here. And there's like, there's like the things you know, the things you don't know, and the things you don't know that you don't know.
Right.
And that third category is really filling in for me. And I'm starting to lead with that, with my invitations to people. As a member of this community and your housemate, how do we get people in and just be like, there's another way we can do things. You don't have to pay for an online course to learn this. If you come help clean up, there's a new way to kind of start to contribute.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you everyone for watching our honey harvest commentary.
Our first commentary.
Yeah, this is a new style we're experimenting with, and I had a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, me too. Thanks. And that's Maggie's place now.
I was trying to match the hand gesture, but here, we'll try it again. I'll jump in on, you go that's, and I'll go Maggie's place now with you. Okay.
All right. And that's
Maggie's place now.
Come see us.
Come on, virtually or in person, come on by.